Do you want to hit those incredible goals? I mean, do you want to live those visions and those dreams that you have, the ones that really mean a lot to you? Well, if you do, you need to put your goals in writing. Something really special happens when you get them out of your head and you put them in writing. It's very, very important. Let me start by talking about a study done by Harvard. They went to their MBA graduates, people graduating again from Harvard. I believe it was their law school. And what they did is they said, who knows exactly what you want? Who has goals for the future? Do you know 13% had goals for the future? Well, the cool thing is 10 years later, they went back to this entire graduating class, and the 13% that had their goals, not in writing, but had general goals, they made more money. In fact, they made double the money than the average person from that graduating class. So just that alone should say put your goals in writing. And it's not just about making money, because goals work the same way with anything you're looking at. But they made double, twice as much. So having goals is very important. But what they also did is they went back, and during that first part, let me back up for a minute, they found that only 3% had their goals in writing. So that kind of blows me away. At Harvard, you would think they would teach people like, no, you better put your goals in writing, but only 3% did. So they probably learned it. But you know what? I've looked at a lot of studies, and almost every study I've ever seen is right around that 3% mark of people that have their goals and plans in writing. So here's the interesting thing. When they went back 10 years again and they looked at the net worth and looked at how much money the people were making, that 3% with their goals in writing and plans in writing made 10 times more than the entire average of the class. 10 times more. Do you want to make 10 times more? Well, put your goals in writing. And another very important thing is you want to review them, but I'll talk about that in just a minute. Now, when you put them in writing, here's what happens. You have to get specific. It's very important. We teach SMART goals when we're teaching goals, but the S stands for specific. You want to get really clear on what is it that you want. Now, a vision is different than a goal. Let me kind of make the distinction. The vision might be, I want to have enough money to do anything I ever want to, or to travel all the time. Great vision. But that's a terrible goal. How much is that? Is that $250,000 a year? Is that $1 million a year? Is that $5 million a year? I mean, what is that for you? You want to get very, very specific. So a vision, that's a great vision, but it's a terrible goal. And when you start getting clear on your goals, you have to get specific if you want them to be really powerful goals. So get very, very specific on them. You also are going to gain some understanding on what you want to achieve. So let's go back to that same goal. If you want to make $250,000, well, how? You don't just put it in writing. It's like, do you want to own your own business? Maybe you're in sales. Maybe you want to invest money and start, trading stocks or whatever it may be. But it will make you get specific on how you're going to get there too. So another point is you want to have long-term goals, and then you want to have mid-range goals, and then you want to have the short-term goals, which are your action items. What do you need to do immediately to get there? So again, let's say you want a business, and you say, that's how I'm going to do it, by building a business. Well, great. You may need a website. Well, what are you going to do with that website? Maybe you need to first start with a URL, like what is going to be the name of the website. And once you figure that out, where are you going to host it? Are you going to build it on a certain platform, like maybe WordPress, which we love WordPress for a lot of reasons, but the point is it will force you to get clarity, and you'll have to start thinking it through and start breaking down the step-by-step things to, again, build that website that will help you start earning that income. Because again, and you all know this, but in today's world, you need to have a website. So that could be something if you're a business owner. It's also going to help you stay motivated. You know as well as I do, when you're trying to hit any goal, you're going to hit roadblocks. Not everything you try is going to work out. In fact, if you don't know that, I'm telling you, but I'm sure you do know that. But when you hit those roadblocks, it's not fun. So looking at your goals will keep you motivated. It's very, very important. I know when I look at my goals, I look at them almost every day, some very important ones to me. And whenever I read those, it gets me right back on track on what do I want to do that day, because I know where I'm going. I know why I'm going there. So again, it could be an income goal, but now you go, nope, if I don't keep doing the right things, I'm not going to get there. So it helps you stay focused on what you need to be doing. Goals are very, very important. Again, if you don't have them in writing, they're just in your head. You're going to be thinking 10,000 thoughts a day. You're going to be thinking a lot of things, and if they're not in writing, you may not be really focused on what you need to be doing. So again, it helps you stay on track and is going to give you more motivation. See, when I look at my goals, and it will be the same for you, I start getting motivated, because you should have goals that inspire you. They get you excited. Like if someone goes, yeah, if I made, I don't know, $70,000, $80,000 a year, that might be a lot for you, but it might be, I can barely even afford to live on that. That wouldn't excite you. And maybe 100,000 doesn't. Maybe 500,000 excites you. You go, yeah, I can get there. It might take me a year, it might take me a couple years. But you need to have something that is going to motivate you. So when you set your goals, you want to make sure that they're also something that is going to motivate you. And good goals are also going to help you become aware of what's important to you. And just a personal example, there was a big period of my life up until age about 26 that I did some sort of sports. I started out doing sports all the time, and from age 10 to 26, I did something like wrestling or karate or kickboxing or some sort of contact sport. And I liked it, and I had goals on what I wanted to do with that. But you know what? Once I had a family, and I thought, I want to be there for my family. I want to start focusing on something different, and knowing how much time it was going to take to grow a business whenever I went into business for myself, you know, my goals changed. It brought awareness to me, saying it's not nearly as important to me to go out and do the things I used to do before I had that family. So you start becoming aware as you start looking at them, going, that's really not exciting me anymore. And another thing is going to help you do when you have them in writing, it's going to help you align your actions, because you're going to be busy all day. There's going to be things that come up, people that are going to ask you to do something. Well, if you don't have your goals in writing to help keep you focused, you're going to go in one direction or another, or someone else is going to tell you, I need this right away, and pretty soon you're focused on 100 things, but you're not moving forward. If you look at your goals every day, you think about them, it's going to keep you on track, and your actions are going to start lining up with what your goals are. You're going to start being more productive, and it's going to boost your productivity. And if you have a business, you know what? You need to convey those goals to your teammates, to the people on your team, the people that you work with. So you want to make sure that it's not just for you, but you share these visions, these goals, these dreams in the short term, the long term. But again, the visions, everyone needs to know where they're going, like that big dream and that big vision. But when you break it down into the mid-range and the short-term goals, then people can start piecing it together on how it's going to get you to start living that vision and that dream. So here is the wrap up. I just want to recap. Don't do it in your head. And not just from the Harvard study, every study I've ever read, and from personal experience, I can tell you myself, I stay focused when I look at my goals that are in writing. And you also want to readjust these goals. You want to keep them before your eyes. You want to be, again, focused on them. But you want to make sure you get them out of your head. There's going to be something really special that happens. You're going to gain a lot more clarity. You're going to know where you're going. It's going to really help you stay motivated. It's going to help you stay on track. You want to share them with the other people on your team. Now, if you've heard something like this before and you're not doing that, or it's not really working for you, let us know. Jump on and look at SuccessTek. We help you get really clear on your visions, turn them into goals, turn those into action items. Very, very important. If you're already doing it, maybe this is a reminder for you, but I don't think there's an easier or better way to do than the platform we built very specifically to help people succeed. So if you would like a little help on that, a little training on it, a lot more than I'm doing on this short, high-level overview, then let us know. Reach out to us and we'd love to help you. So I hope that this has helped, and more importantly, I hope that you get your goals in writing. It will be life-changing. So with that, have a great rest of your day, and as always, remember to expect success. Thanks.